Well, there. Maybe that makes the lighting just a little better. I don't know. Anyway, I'm sitting on my sofa trying to omit the glare on my glasses. But now there's like shadow. I'm being followed by a moon shadow. Yeah, well, anyway, so I got a lot of things on my mind, and I thought to myself, I need to talk to somebody about it. So I picked you. Okay, so anyway, things going on. Sometimes my credit card balances make me very nervous. So I've got some savings put aside. But do I want to touch that and pay down all my credit cards and then cut a few of them up so I don't use them anymore? Here's the problem. When they're in the system for like Amazon and Walmart and things that I use a lot. And then I end up not paying everything down, and then I have interest. Interest makes me very nervous. It just seems like, you have to cover that interest payment and then some so you can get that balance back down. You know how credit cards work. And I tell my kids all the time, don't use them. They're a horrible trap unless you can pay that balance off every month. Well, I needed my mattress, and definitely I'm doing better since the mattress. Not the kind of better I was hoping for, but it's still nice to have a real bed to sleep in. Now, my daughter's moving to Colorado, and I want to go see her, not just because she's having wisdom teeth removed and she would like her mommy there to help her out after the first day. She also has to pack, and I was going to help her with some of that packing. I want to drive up. I know. So I was going to go for a massage today, see if I can loosen things up. But actually, the Flexeril I took last night actually helped loosen things up quite a bit. What's happening is when I use my cane, my back starts to spasm and tighten up because I'm putting so much pressure on that cane because the right leg hurts so bad. Not good. And I can feel my left hip starting to get aggravated because of all the pressure. I'm doing my best, guys. Oh, I'm doing my best. I don't know. My best doesn't seem to be good enough. And looking at all those videos on hip replacement, dear God, I do not want to do this. I do not want to do this. Of course, I still have an appointment on the 12th of December with what reviews have called a egotistical neurosurgeon who doesn't listen or answer questions from what the reviews say, but he was like one of the highly recommended ones. Chip on his shoulder. So I'm gonna just go, talk to him and listen to see what he says, let him look at my films and tell me, well, they're on CD now, tell me, what do you think about the whole thing from lumbar to hip? And what would he recommend? Oh, I just wish, one doctor a couple of years back suggested going in and just scraping out the acetabulum, which is that, the socket part of the hip. And because there was a cyst in there. Probably from all the rubbing bone on bone, it doesn't like that. I've been wanting to go to my chiropractor because maybe if I could straighten my pelvis up, my pelvis tilts on its own. It's just like, and it has to be put back, right? But I haven't been loose enough to be able to go to him because I know what happens. My back seizes up. It's like I'm not going anywhere. I'll barely budge, and that's what happened on the last appointment I saw him about a year ago. I'm like, I'm not paying all this money, $110 a visit, so I can get a massage to prepare me for an adjustment that didn't go well. I don't know. Now, if I kept going to him weekly, but that's $110 a week, guys, I don't have that. I don't make that kind of income. I'm living on $960 a month plus, whatever bills my son pays for me. Bless his heart for doing it, because it's tight, okay? And that's why I'm in credit card debt, because if I need or want something, I charge it. So, and that includes supplements. Sometimes I paid cash the last time I went to Sprouts, but then they didn't have everything, so then I had to put on credit card the things I do need. And I gotta tell you, supplements are costly. They're expensive. If I don't see any real results in 6 months, well, I got about 5 months to go now, because I've already completed at least 2 bottles of supplements. So I'm at least a month in. I'd have to look back when did I go to see that pain management guy? I got to look back at my records. He's the catalyst of when I talked to my daughter Rachel in tears, and she said, we have other things in our kit that they don't have. And so I started researching, also on the recommendation of my orthopedic doctor. I started chondroitin and what other ones? Whatever he told me to try, I bought those. Plus I've added stuff to it since. Supplements, they're expensive. You can't get those covered with Medicare. Nope. Or Medicaid. But yeah, so my dilemma. I don't want to fly to Bonnie. I want to drive. Now the van's running good now. It really is, but I want him to take it back in because I need that bushing changed out. I do not want to drive, a total of 1,400 miles approximately with a pie plate as a bushing, okay? I don't know that that's good. Does it heat up? Will something catch on fire? Will something melt? I don't know. And so I'm waiting for that. And I wanted him to check some other things in the steering and this shimmy that I have in the van. The thing shimmies, not all the time, but in the lower RPMs. It's, and I want him to look at that. And what else? Turn signal. On the right, it goes way faster than the left. I want to make sure there's not an electrical issue. I don't need to break down, and that's my fear. My fear may be unfounded, may be founded. I'm so afraid of being in the condition I'm in, and clearly I have problems with heat exhaustion. To break down in Florida on my way up would be a disaster in the daytime. I could leave at night, which would also be a disaster because then I'd be alone, broken down the road, but at least the sun wouldn't be beating down on me. AAA could pick me up and tow me somewhere. Then what? I have a plan. So if I break down, and it's going to cost me money, but I do have savings, so I could pay for it. But I really didn't want to touch my savings. However, on the other hand, I've been going through the stuff that Dennis left me, and I have a lot of really beautiful old silver flatware and a dollhouse furniture. That was my idea. Well, hey, the guy sold me this humongous dollhouse, and I never found out what happened to that dollhouse. I sent it with Dennis. It had a real fireplace. I sent it with Dennis to the show, and I don't know what happened to it. Did he pile stuff on it? Did it break? He never told me. It was a gorgeous dollhouse. Gosh damn it all. Anyway, I got the whole dollhouse full of furniture for $10 years ago. And I kept that dollhouse furniture because I was hoping one day I'd have a cute little dollhouse and I could furnish it because I love dollhouses. I wonder if I ought to do that. I mean, I can't keep all that dollhouse furniture. There's way too much. I mean, there's a lot of money in the dollhouse furniture, even if I sold it all for a couple bucks a piece. But some of the pieces are really nice and deserve to go on, wherever, online for sale. So, yeah, I might do that. And so I've got money elsewhere, not just my savings. The problem is if I start selling things That's income. And I don't quite understand all the rules. Something about once you're 65, 14,700 is not taxable. This is not necessarily claimable. This is what I'm seeing online. I need to call the IRS, but you can't get through to the IRS ever, ever. I want to know the rules before I make the action. I got to know if it's in my best interest or not. So that's the thing. Yeah. I wish Michael dealt, my son, I wish he dealt in sterling silver flatware, but he does not. He's all jewelry. And I have jewelry, but for what, what he can give me for it, I don't know. I thought about the November Reningers again, which would kill me in the condition I'm in. But if I rented the tables and had them ready for me, now there is a show in Virginia, but I'm not ready for that. So let's say I know I'm all over the place. I'm so sorry, but bear with me on this, would you please? All right, here's my master plan. Lots of drugs for the pain. I got them all. And so I leave here on the 29th and I head north, but I will not do the highways. I'm going to do side roads. A little faster, about 45, but not any faster than that, because I'd like to be near a small town if I should break down. And one thing is I can always rent a U-Haul truck for a few days and tow the dang thing back home if I break down in Florida. If I break down elsewhere, I could try to find a reasonable mechanic and have him look at it. So that's part of my plan. So I take the back roads. I take the slow road. You take the slow road, and I'll take. And I got 3 days to get 700 miles, right? 650 something or something like that, from where I am to where Vaughn is, and yeah, and that's about $280 in gas. I have to, up that a bit, at least 20%, to make sure I have enough for the back roads. That's longer, slower. Now, if I start off, I would be starting off on a Friday. You see, I promised Maggie that babysit so her and Michael could go out on the 28th, because I thought I might be flying. I hate to fly. I hate being wheeled around by a wheelchair. Now, hear me out. So I have my car bedding. It's over at Finn's house. He likes jumping on it. So what I was going to do is on the 17th or 18th, Brett takes my vehicle back in. Finish it up. Make sure that I'm safe to go. Then I'm going to bring it home, hopefully, within a few days, and he won't keep it any longer. And I have to tell him, whatever you do, get it done by this date. I need my van back. So then I'm going to get my van back, and I'm going to vacuum it out and go over all the holes and tape them. And then I'm going to put wool blankets down that I already have as insulation. And then I'm going to put this rug that I bought specifically for the back of my van. It's a wool rug. It's really beautiful, bright colors, lots of purple. And something that is just so not me, but that I loved when I saw it. And I'm going to lay that down for my, my flooring. And then I'm going to put my bedding in. Now, do I want a frame? Maybe not this trip. It's high enough off the ground, the two mattresses, that I can get up and down pretty easily. Plus I have my 3-gallon potty container, and I do already have the noodle that I'm going to slice and put on like I make my travel potty. And then you put a plastic bag over all with pellets inside. And it works very, very well. So, Yeah. What I do is I put the first bag in, pellets. Second bag on top of that, pellets. Third bag on that, pellets. Now I can easily tie it up and throw it away when I'm at a truck stop or wherever. And I don't have to walk long distances. This is what I need. I'd have my cooler, my water, my food. I'd have my potty, my bed. I could spend most of the time in the van except to get gas. And maybe I'll want to try to stretch that leg every hour and a half and walk a little bit. Or maybe even lay down in the back and try to get everything to, cooperate. I do still have tramadol, plenty of that. And I can, I don't know what. At night I can take my I don't like driving under the influence of drugs, so I usually take a half of a Flexeril, which is 2.5 milligrams of that. Then I take a tramadol and I go to sleep. Next morning I wake up, I'm not bad. Then I could, drive through a McDonald's, grab my senior coffee, which isn't 59 cents anymore, and ease on down the road. And what does that say? Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, whatever. I have to dismiss that, but I don't want to mess up my... Anyway, all right, so back to the storyline. What was I saying? Right, so if I could have my little world contained in my van, because I hate the airport, I hate being wheeled around. I hate when I have to go to the bathroom. There's nobody to wheel me, and then I have to try to use my cane. And it's too much, guys. It's too much. If I'm hungry, I'm stuck because I'm so far away from any food vendors. When I'm, being wheeled to a destination, I'm stuck there. Plus, you have to tip them. They expect tips. I didn't know that. I thought it was a service, But somebody's going to pay them, I guess. I think they get good pay. I don't know. So anyway, yeah, I want to drive. I'm bored, okay? My biggest issue is I am so bored. I am so stuck in here all the time. It's, I go to a little store and I look around and I come home. It's no fun. It's no fun being here watching the same old YouTube free movies over and over and over again because there's not too many that are free that I haven't already seen. Okay, so there's that. The other thing is, should I pay down my credit cards with part of my savings? That's scary. I like having a buffer. Now, I know my kids would help me if I was ever in a jam, but I don't want that. Mike's already helping me, but don't forget, I help them plenty. They just figured it's payback time, and I appreciate that. And I take any help they give me, because I did help them extensively. I did. So, what to do? What do you think? Leave a comment below. And please don't be snarky about my van. Look, I know I have challenges with that van, but I must say in my defense, all 6 of these people who have looked and worked on my car have said it's a good engine and transmission, it's a good van. The problems have been not the engine and transmission at all. As a matter of fact, the new guy said there's no leaks in your engine. I don't see that anywhere. He said there's no leaks in the transmission. I'm not seeing it. There were leaks in my AC and he fixed that, but the rear AC, he thought he fixed it, but it's blowing hot once he got to me. And I said, that's okay. We'll fix it when we do the bushing. So I need to call about a bushing. Danny, who I got the engine from, may have that bushing because he has a lot of vans like mine, but in rough shape. So anyway, I might ask for both bushings. That way I always have one on hand. So yeah, so I would like to get my van ready to take my first trip up to my daughter's and see if I can make it. I was going to do that 100-mile trip, but right now my back is feeling good and I don't want to put all that pressure. Holding the steering wheel is, it's rough on me. I admit it, I don't know. I'm beside myself, and it's really hard. Hard making decisions. I'm alone. I'm responsible for myself. How do I navigate all this? How do I fight the boredom that I feel? I mean, I'm not a crafty person. I don't enjoy it that much. I mean, I painted that one mirror and it's sitting there on the floor now. I do need to hang it eventually. I have a new idea. Because I can't afford another painting, I was thinking of the mirrors I already have, just painting all those in the, I have like an antique white, I have the green, antique green, and a pink. What if I did several mirrors in those colors that I already have the mirrors, and I hung them on that empty wall? This one. This one. So what if I took those two down, and I incorporated them there with all the other mirrors I have, which are just sitting around. I might as well, right? Darn it, I could pause this. I needed to dismiss that alarm because it just is sitting there annoying me. I need my coffee. Wait a minute. Well, I'm in this pretty deep now, 21 minutes, so that's my story here, what I'm thinking about. Please remember that I've been very depressed sitting in here, having all these physical problems, and driving isn't horrible on me. If I stop every hour and a half, and I'm careful, and I have my meds, and if I have everything I need right there in my van, that's why I got a van, so that I could fit my needs inside, and maybe at least, even if I just have to see my world outside a window, I can't hike it. I can get out and walk a little bit. But until I make this decision about my hip, and I'm not making that decision for a good 6 months, I want to see if the weight loss, the exercises, the supplements might make a difference. Let me know what you think, guys. And if you're snarky, I'm going to just remove your comment. I need good, constructive, tell me what you think. Oh, you're crazy. I don't consider that snarky. I am crazy. There's like no doubt about that one. But I've always been a risk taker. I don't believe in being afraid of your shadow. I don't believe in playing it safe all the time. If you do that, you're never going to live. That's my thoughts on the matter. I love you all, thinking and praying for you all, and yeah, that's it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Love y'all. Bye.